This time we'll call the August 15th, 2022 Town of Fuquay-Varina Planning Board meeting to order. This time I'd ask everybody to stand and let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Looks like we're down 2 planning board members. We got one back though, so I think we're good on quorum. So at this time, we'll move on to item 2A, approval of the meeting minutes from the July 18th, 2022 planning board meeting. The purpose of this agenda item is to consider approval of the meeting minutes from the planning board meeting on July 18th, 2022. Everybody had a chance to look at them. And if so, is there any corrections or modifications, additions, subtractions?
I move that we approve the minutes from the July 18th, 2022 meeting of the planning board as presented and recommended.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Anybody have any more questions? If not, go to the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? One carries. All right. Since there are no public hearings tonight on tonight's agenda, we do not need to do anything for that. Awesome. We will move on to item 5A. Item 5A is a preliminary subdivision plat, Holston Subdivision, sub-PR 2021-13. The purpose of this agenda item is to consider a preliminary subdivision plat submitted by Underfoot Engineering for Holston Subdivision located at 2406 Fleming Road, and further information will be provided by staff.
Thank you. I am submitting the official abstract and supporting documents into the records of the town. The submitted preliminary subdivision, Holston Subdivision, is located at 2406 Fleming Road on 33.44 acres in the residential medium-density conditional zoning district, with the following conditions applicable to the use of the subject property. If you guys would like me to go through, I will read all these. If not, these were previously approved.
Oh, no, I don't
Yeah,
think,
not the
I don't think
Works for
anybody
me.
need her to read the zoning conditions? I think you're okay, Pam.
The preliminary subdivision plat proposes 82 residential lots, meeting the standard for an open space subdivision development. The minimum lot size permitted is 7,000 square feet. The minimum lot size provided is 7,000 square feet with an average lot size of 8,809 square feet. Following the 18% open space dedication option, a minimum of 6.02 acres of overall open space with 1.2 acres of the common green area is required. There are 11.43 acres of overall open space with 1.92 acres of common green area provided. Vehicular access to the project area is provided by an extension of Fleming Road and a roadway stub to the north and east. Fleming Road is classified by the town's 2035 Community Transportation Plan as a 60-foot right-of-way. This segment of Fleming Road is currently a 2-lane road without sidewalks. The current carrying capacity for Fleming Road is 10,800 average daily trips. A 2015 NCDOT traffic analysis located near the subject property for Fleming Road indicates a volume of 160 average daily trips. There was no ADT information listed for the year 2020. Public water is currently available and sewer will be extended to serve the subject property by the developer. The proposed preliminary subdivision plat meets all town requirements and therefore staff recommends approval. I am available for any questions.
Does anybody have any questions for Pam? Pam, I think I overheard you guys talking about something about an administrative adjustment or
So yes,
approval,
administrative, and I'm sorry, that wasn't in the, administrative adjustment has been granted to the block length because they were working hard to avoid additional environmental impacts. So for that loop road.
Gotcha.
And then second on the soils,
Right, so I
just
did,
different from Wake County GIS.
so
hazard soils.
when this was originally submitted, the flood hazard soils were not shown, so we asked them to show those. So I believe they did get those from the USDA is what the notes say. And then as an open space subdivision, no environmental features may be located on the lot. So they specifically removed anything noted as flood hazard soils. Talking to Matt Poling, the engineering director, he said that they will still do a backwater analysis at CDs for any crossings, and that because it was an under 5-acre drainage area that the soil survey, I guess, wasn't needed at this time.
So if we approve this tonight, if they get into the flood study or the back order at CDs and it changes something, they'd have to revise the preliminary plat.
Depending on what it changes. So obviously there are those big five that count as a major subdivision change. They would have to come back to the boards. If they're making small adjustments based on environmental things, and we, it's
Sure.
changing acreages of open spaces and things, and we could do that administratively. That last amendment, last LDO amendment also allowed for, I think, a 10% plus or minus kind of adjustments for acreages. Again, if we deem that it still meets the intent of the subdivision and still meets all the minimum standards, we can do that administratively. But yes, if there's a major change, they will have to amend the preliminary, and that's a risk that they take.
This is the one that had the off-site sewer through the property, right? That ties into Avery's Crossing, is that right?
Yes, so moving forward, we are postponing the utility allocation at town board in September, whenever this goes to the town board, until further analysis can be done.
So
there's some
do they have to
concern.
actually get the easement that's off-site recorded before they can get the allocation, or how are y'all treating the off-site easement for that?
So they actually purchased that property.
Oh, okay. Alrighty then. Well, that takes care of that then, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any more questions?
There's only two I had.
One question more
Sure.
about the town's transportation plan.
Mhm.
You've got a requirement for a road to be built here, and this development's actually making two connections,
Mhm.
right? How do we go about maintaining and updating the transportation plan? Is that, once this gets platted through Wake County parcels, does that automatically get updated into the transportation plan, or?
No, this will be incorporated, obviously, when we're doing our CTP update. So anytime we have done an update to the CTP plan, we have combed through and updated any of those
Any developments
connections
come
that
through?
have
Okay.
been made, right?
Yeah, it's a question not about this specific
Right,
development.
but just the
as it
general
is
process, yeah.
Thank you.
So, and in this case, I mean, I think that's just a bonus stub. I don't think we would necessarily update the CTP to show two connections required unless, in looking at it, we felt that those two, connections and going in different directions were needed. I think it would definitely satisfy a portion of the one that's shown on the CTP plan
So
today.
you replace the dash lines that are in the current TCP, you replace those with actual when you do an update to the CTP, not
Exactly,
immediately.
right. And we would actually wait until that was a recorded platted road.
Right.
We won't take it off just when it's in the development process.
Okay.
But yes, every time we do these updates, the bigger updates, we will come through and make sure that any of these, because obviously they're not located. The dashed road is not going to be in the same
Right.
location this is. We want to make sure we account for the fact that it is actually physically there now.
Thank you.
Any more questions, comments? If not, then I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the Holston Subdivision Preliminary Subdivision Plat SUB PR 2021-13 as presented.
I got a motion and a second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All right, well, we'll go to the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That one carries. All right, we will move on to item number 6A, administrative reports.
I think we got
Yep, you got
Oh,
one more?
Do I have one more?
5B.
5B. I'm sorry. Thanks for checking me, Ed. 5B. Oh, purpose of this agenda item is to introduce new planning staff, department staff to the planning board. Further information will be provided by staff.
Thank you. Toby, can you stand up to the podium there? So Toby Fiddler recently joined the town's planning department as the new Planner 1 in current planning. He joins the town from the private sector, where he spent the last 3 years gaining experience in plat mapping and route planning for dry utilities. He also has experience in ArcGIS and AutoCAD. He has a bachelor's degree in geography from Frostburg State University in Maryland.
Well, welcome aboard.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Today is actually his first day. We are
Oh,
making
boy.
him stay with us.
There's a lesson
Hopefully
learned.
he'll come tomorrow.
There was a lesson learned.
At least you had a nice agenda for your first day.
So,
Yeah, that's right here. So.
could have been worse. This place could have been packed. Could have been here until like 9 o'clock.
Oh, okay, okay.
There will
Something
be
to look
those
forward
days.
to then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, great.
Yeah.
It's good to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, now we'll move on to 6A, planning staff report. And the purpose of this agenda item is to receive information on the disposition of the planning board's recommendations to the town board of commissioners since the July 18th, 2022 planning board. Any questions for staff on this? If not, Barbara, it is your time to shine.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned.
Thank you.